Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots, and I'm going to teach you how to do everything you see on this screen. You do not have to have an xTool F2. You do not even have to be familiar with the software. I'm going to show you step by step. We're going to talk about using the xTool AI Make software. I'm going to talk about image editing and how to create a cut project from those image edits. Then I'm going to prep, cut it, which took 3.5 minutes. I'm going to sand and assemble. If you are using an xTool F2, those are the settings, and the total processing time was about 3.5 minutes. Not that bad. Now, if you are new to my channel and you're just joining me for any xTool Studio or xTool software tutorials, I am going to speak a little quickly. Things are going to go a little fast. If you go to the cog and choose anything above normal in playback speed, so you can see it there, anything above normal is going to slow this down if you need to follow along. Most people watch it once and then go through it again. If you go to atom.com.ai-make, you will get this prompt screen. This is my exact prompt. I'm going to show you what worked, what did not work, and what you should avoid doing. So here you can see I want a barn quilt star pattern. That's all I want. I don't want to rip anybody off, so I'm going to do a little trick. Now, the reason I had ethical in quotation marks is because I don't know what your particular stance on AI is. I'm an artist. I'm a digital creator as well. So, I wrestle with it. But I'm going to use the fine line art, and I'm going to make sure it's at your right ratio. So mine's going to be 1:1. Now, the other little option we have is the photo. So I'm going to come out here and type in barn quilt star, and then I'm just going to hit go. I'm not going to look at any of the results because I want to come over to the tools section. Every browser will have this if you don't want to use big bad Google. Go to advanced search, excuse me, and then you're going to look for something called usage rights. Down here, anything that says commercially, you're going to go ahead and do. The very bottom one is the best one to use. I just accidentally chose that one. So you can see the first result is a wiki project, which means we can use that. We're going to take a right click. We're going to save it. And then I'm going to upload it right here in my prompt screen. See that? That is a reference photo. So I'm just finishing my prompt here and hitting go. Now, you do have to have AI credits through xTool for this, so be sure you are signed in so those will apply. You can buy them right here from this screen. Now, the way their AI works is it will try and clarify. I absolutely messed up by including the words Christmas ornament. It did not need to know that. Now I'm going to tell you another thing I messed up on right here, which is I assumed it kept everything. It didn't. I have to go and upload that photo again. So just FYI, it doesn't keep your reference photo in the chat, unlike some other AIs. So just figure it out. I like this one. Looks a lot like the picture. I'm going to right click and download that because you have paid for this. Ergo, don't just open it up in AI Make or the Studio. You want to save it. So now I'm going to open up xTool Studio. I'm going to add a new canvas to my F2 review file, and I'm just going to write AI Make star something, barn quilt star or something. All right, and I'm going to provide this file down below with the original image and my edits. So once I import this, I'm just going to size it down a bit because I don't want to be delayed with the software. So I'm going to walk through every single step. I'm going to show you some things you may not know. The first thing you absolutely will know is AI cutout. We're not going to use AI. This is so ridiculously easy. We're going to go to manual cutout. We're going to increase the fuzziness because we want the cleanest lines we can get. So we're just taking off all of the white by tapping. I'm going to hit confirm. That costs no AI credits. I'm going to come up here to crop image, and I'm going to keep my 1:1 ratio or don't and just take out that outer line. No AI credits. The last thing I'm going to do is go to image trace or just trace in the xTool software. So there are different options inside of here. No AI credits are required for either one, but always zoom in. So there's center line tracing, and a lot of people in a lot of Facebook groups and on Reddit will tell you to use center line tracing. And I'm going to show you what the result is. Even if you get in here so well, you zoom in 6,000%, look at the wobbly bits, look how things aren't coming together. I'm going to save that and keep it in my file so that in case I ever lose this video and I have to do it again, it's here. But I'm going to go back in and I'm going to trace this image again. Okay. So we want to make sure this is all off, no output, because we're not using these. As you can see, this is my image because I only have the option to engrave it. And then right above it is the compound vector, which I'm just going to call centerline trace. It's garbage, so I'm actually just going to turn it off as well. Turning back on my image, I want to go back into the editing screen, and I'm going to show you we have a better option. If you go back into trace, many people are going to say, don't use this because you get double lines. I'm going to show you how to avoid that. Again, always zoom in as far as you can. You're going to want to play with these slider bars. This is going to be image dependent, but once you have what you're happy with, and again, image dependent, you're going to hit save. That costs 0 AI credits as well. All I'm looking for is a pretty decent join here in the middle. That's it. And we can always edit the vector if something is really off. Don't worry. So once you're happy with whatever you've done, you're going to hit save again. Now we can turn off our image and lock that. We don't need that anymore. Making sure that the output for that is off. We're going to change the compound vector up here a little bit. And I'm just going to tell you, if you cut this right now, it would be double lines. So we don't want that, right? So I'm going to choose engrave. And I know you're going to be like, what? Trust me, just choose engrave. Now I'm actually going to create a new vector. I'm going to hit R on my keyboard. You can go to the little shapes menu, but I'm just going to hit R on my keyboard, choose engrave, make it a different color, hold the other item, hit Command or Control right bracket to move it forward, place it over, select both, and hit subtract. Now don't freak out. One big piece you can't move because it's a vector. We come up here, we release the vector, remove the big square, and now you're left with 9 pieces. We have 8 cutout pieces and 1 background piece. So I'm going to highlight all of the 8 cutout pieces and we can group them. I'm going to change the color, and you can see now there's 1 big piece in the back and 8 in front. That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. So I'm just going to go over here and make them, back to center, and then I'm going to name these. So these are pieces. That's it. And we're going to make a copy. And we're going to paste it. That's it. Now we highlight everything and center a line at the very bottom. We'll do both vertical and horizontal. You with me? It's okay to pause this. I'm going to change that to a score. So I change the color to purple. I change it to score. And now I have cut pieces and score pieces. Okay? So the cut pieces are still orange. All right. Now they're not orange. Okay, so this down here is our background vector, but if we left it like that, it wouldn't be stacked. So I want to add an outline. We come up to the offset menu, choose outer shapes only. For some designs that won't matter. And then I'm hitting external, choosing the size, and now you have the original vector and the new compound vector, and this is our base piece, right? This is our big cut background. This one down here, I'm going to turn off because we don't need it. It's smaller than what we need. We're going to call it OG background for original because I'm old. Now, we have cut background, cut pieces, and score, right? Now we need to add a hanging tab for our cut background. Super easy, 2 concentric circles. Just make a circle, any size, makes your heart happy, highlight, copy it, center them, size them. You can see here, center and size. I'm just going to do align center so I don't have to manually do it. Come up to combine and subtract them. If you look at it in engrave, you can see there's a hole cut out. So now all we're going to do is take that, position that hole with just our entire design and then center it. Then we're going to grab just the hole and the cut background and we're going to combine unite them. Boop. Now you have a little hanging hole. Now I always recommend, if you're designing inside of one of these softwares, you go to the applications menu, then measurement, and measure this little hole to make sure it works with your ribbon or your cord. I'm using a thin suede cord, so mine is great. Now take a breath. Here's everything we have. We're going to drop our cut background to the back. Score is going to be right on top of that. And then we're going to turn off the cut pieces because we first have to create the background, right? So make sure we're going to set those cut pieces to no output. We are going to set the score and background to output. Now for the score, I don't want to see those lines, so I'm going to go up to the offset menu, check inner, and adjust. So now I have two scores. I have my vector and my original score. So I'm going to name my original score OG score because I'm so creative. And then I'm going to turn that off because we don't need that. That score is too big. This vector that we put on top will be right inside our cut pieces. That's what we want because we don't want to see that in the middle. We don't want to see that anywhere. So I'm just going to drag this down right above my cut background. Drag this one down way down because who cares? We're not using it. And now I'm going to show you. See, that purple line is right inside all of those outside cut lines. That way we know where to place it, but it won't be seen. I'm just going to call it score. Make sure our cuts are off. We're going to end up splitting these, but not yet. So we're just going to make sure, like, ignore it, like it's not even there. Okay, so now guess what? We're totally ready to make. You've just built this inside of XCS and you are ready. I'm going to come up and use the F2, brand new from xTool, and choose basswood plywood because that's what I'm using. I'm going to choose now all of my commands, right? So for score, I'm actually going to lighten up my scoring because I don't need it to be very dark. I just need an idea of where that center is so I don't overlap it. For my cut, I'm going to change that to red. I'm going to change the processing type to cut. And then you can come in here and adjust your settings. My settings were 96 and 1. I don't know why I changed that accidentally to 94. So again, we are making sure everything is ready. I'm highlighting everything and putting it dead center in this. I'm going to save this because you don't get auto saves in xTool Studio or XCS. So just be sure to save your files. Now I'm going to remove my little positioner piece, put in my cut piece. If you're unfamiliar with this, this is a 2 laser galvo style xTool F2. I'm just going to hold in my basswood with the actual little door because I'm lazy. And it totally works, by the way. I'm auto measuring. It's going to take a picture of the background. And you can see over here, I've got all my settings in. All I really need to do is either frame it, I don't need to, or process it. You can see here, this is going to take a whole minute and 23 seconds. FYI, because this isn't all the way down, I am wearing 455 nanometer laser goggles because I like my eyeballs. Here you go. Now you can see at the very bottom, I'm going to have to sand it because I did pull that air forward. So now we need to turn off these. So we set the output to score and cut. Those all get ignored. Now this one, we're going to set to cut, and we're going to cut 2 pieces. First, I'm going to hide the background so you can see what I'm doing. Then I'm going to ungroup it. You can use the shortcut or come up here to the menu. So I'm selecting 4, skipping in between and grouping it. I'm just going to choose a color. The other 4 are going to be basswood plywood. So I'm going to choose the first 4 as walnut. So I'm just going to type in walnut up here, apply, and got it. Now, making sure my basswood plywood is off, I'm just going to position a walnut piece of plywood with 3M adhesive on the back. I've done this exact project with glue. They both work, but you can see my little cuts here. There's the 3M on the back. That took a minute as well. Now I'm going to position a cutout from an ornament with 3M on the back, and I'm just going to turn the walnut off, turn the basswood on, and cut that. Guess what? It was a minute. Everything is now sanded. You can see that is one nice little piece of sanded. And here you go for the walnut and the mini basswood pieces. We just take off the back, position it, making sure we're identifying where that center point was on our score so that we don't go over it. And then I just do that all the way around, but I have to like hover over it, so I'm not going to record that for you. Once that was all on, I'm just going to thread on some suede cord, maybe a bead and some ribbon, and that's it. This free project will be linked below. If you have any questions, let me know. Please like the video, share it, and subscribe for more laser fun.